Hey there, Aries. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 8th. We're just going to jump right in here, Aries. You have the Queen of Wands in your current general energies, so you are just showing up basically as yourself. Doesn't matter what gender you are. Fool can represent Aries as well, so, I kind of feel like you're showing up in a very strong position this week. I had a good feeling about this week in general for you, the week of the 8th. So I would just say, in general, I feel things are going to be progressing very nicely for you, and it seems to me like you are very focused on work, which the past few readings that I've been doing for you have been very work focused, and it makes sense. You have this Tree of Life card. You also have Jupiter going into your second house soon, and that is Taurus. And I always, this isn't accurate tarot or accurate astrology, but to me, the whole Uranus and Taurus energy is very much Uranus and Taurus, or is very much the Tree of Life, basically, building and leaving a legacy. The Ten of Pentacles forms the Tree of Life on the card. So for a lot of you, it's like you're very kind of focused on either building, leaving a legacy, or kind of like making your mark on the world, leaving your dent, as I like to say. Or something. And yeah, you're showing up in a very strong position this week. So I feel kind of like it's almost like you're a force to be reckoned with this week. I feel there's a lot, that you could be looking to accomplish, is what I would say here. So anyway, Aries, I was messing with my cameras and I cannot get this camera to be right now. So we're just going to forget about it. But anyway, you have the Fool. There's clearly a new beginning that you could be taking, going in this direction. I don't know what it is with the Devil, but all of a sudden the Devil's been coming up quite a bit. And it seems to me like it would be a good idea for people to, I don't think you have to remove anything from your life, but if there are toxic things in your life, it might be a good idea to get rid of those distractions. It's kind of popping into my head as numbing behavior as well. But there are a million things that we do as far as numbing behavior. It's like I'm guilty of this. It's like, right, there's some projects where I think about starting them, and I just go watch TV for 8 hours instead. And sometimes you need that, but other times I feel that we need to get rid of the numbing behaviors, or the things that kind of we can just lose ourselves in. And I kind of feel that energy here, where it's like there's a lot you could accomplish. Clearly, Ten of Pentacles in the Star, but the Four of Pentacles would represent leaving a comfort zone, or needing to push yourself past those comfort zones, which I think is critically important for everyone right now. Literally, the astrology is all about leaving comfort zones, kind of letting go of things that you hold on to, like safety nets, or baby bottles, pacifiers, right? And we all have these things that comfort us, right? And I'm not saying that we can't have comfort, but I do feel we all need to kind of let go of things that have comforted us. You have the Queen of Swords as well. There's something, I don't know what is going on this week as well, the 8th. And again, I'm doing this video today is the 4th. So, I'm doing it before the eclipse, which is going to be on the 5th. There could be some sort of radical truth that comes out on the 5th or the 6th, or, over the next 6 months. Really, I think there will be tons of truths with Pluto and Aquarius, but there could be some sort of radical truth, and it could bring about some clarity. Again, I feel like this eclipse, it's like there could be uncomfortable things, but maybe not even personal. They could just be global things that we see clearly, and that could lead to some sort of financial change in your life, or something along those lines. I feel like it's a good thing, because it's like you're seeing the truth, number one. Number two, for some of you, I feel this could be about a toxic person in your life right here. You have Seven of Swords and the Devil. So, some of you, it's like you could be accepting the truth about a person, and but it's kind of weird. I don't know if I said this to you recently, although I have deja vu, thinking about this right now. It's almost as if you are maturing, or it's like all of a sudden you're I don't want to call you Sleeping Beauty, but it's almost like you've woken up from, almost, I wouldn't even call it a spell, but it's like maybe all of a sudden you're kind of seeing a person for who they actually are. And it's also popping into my head as maturity. Very weird message. Let's see. With the Fool, you have the Ace of Swords, literally the truth. And this is a victory as well. The other thing is that the Ace of Swords to me can be laser-like focus. He basically, the Ace of Swords being focused on one thing and making it happen. And I do feel like you are very focused on making things happen. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Seven of Wands. You're putting boundaries up against anything, I would say. Going this way, this could be boundaries against a liar, cheater, stealer, but It could also be boundaries against, like I said, numbing behaviors or things that you want to change about yourself, or, any escape, anything that you use to escape, right? And I'm not saying that these things are bad, but, again, it seems to me like you're really bossing up in this reading. You show up as the Emperor over here. So it looks to me like you're kind of like stepping into this very, it's like you're stepping into this very strong energy. With the Four of Pentacles, you have the Two of Swords. Yeah, and you need to make a decision. It's like, do you want to go this way or this way towards the star? I feel that, kind of leaving, this is what we all need to do, is leave comfort zones and move towards the things that are going to last a long time. I really believe that Uranus and Taurus, which next in the area of what you need to know right now, you have the Tree of Life, It's like, I think Uranus and Taurus, plus you're about to have Jupiter going into Taurus, which is your second. To me, it's like you could be really focusing on building things that make you feel much more fulfilled, but much more completely as well. It's like, for example, if you have a job and it's barely supporting you, but then you go get a job that pays you a lot more money, it might not only support you, but it might also benefit your children or your family or your future children, right? So it's like, there's more here. I hope that makes sense, where it's like you could be, I kind of feel like you're just doing things that, have a bigger impact on your future. And again, this is a pretty powerful reading. You have the Justice card, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. For some of you, I feel like there is kind of like justice coming in if a person lied to you or stole from you or cheated from you as well. For others, again, I get this sense of maturity, remember, from your whole reading. It's almost like you see something from a new, like, more mature perspective. And like I said, it's almost like you've woken up from, in some area of your life. You might even be, it's kind of funny because it's like popping into my head that there might be certain people in your life where maybe they're the things that they do, maybe all of a sudden you're kind of like grossed out by the things that they do because you're coming from like this new place of maturity. So it's kind of funny that you have the Justice card, because it's almost as if I see you judging people, but I don't mean like, oh, you're judging people like you're better than them. I mean, like, you are probably having judgments and saying to yourself, why am I judging these people? And I think it's because, you're just like maturing. You're stepping up into this like new position of power. I also feel like it's going to be very important for you to like not take things too seriously and to have more fun with the, he has these polka dots on his cloak, and polka dots in the tarot represent taking things too seriously, needing to do more things that you enjoy. You have the Ten of Pentacles, very work-focused. I mean, I'm pretty sure for the past few weeks that you've been very work-focused, and you continue to be very work-focused. I feel like there's a lot you could do to make more money. And you might be saying, Chris, I have no clue what to do to make more money. And the Ten of Pentacles is a card of hidden or secret information. There's like a little known meaning of the Ten of Pentacles where this old man here, he represents a beggar. It's not the traditional meaning, but it's like another meaning where he represents a beggar. He's coming and he's bringing this family a gift. And he represents receiving something from a person who has nothing to give. But, for us, if we get the Ten of Pentacles and reading, it can say that there is information that exists that could make you 1,000 times more successful. Chances are you're overcomplicating it, number one. Number two, you just have to look for the information. And again, there has never been like so much information like at the tips of our fingertips, right? Right now. So, I would start doing research on things. I know I always talk about research, but like I always say to people who always say, you always talk about research. I'm like, why haven't you done it yet? Right? So, get moving. You have the Justice card. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra. Could be a Pisces, Aquarius, Libra, or just an air sign in general. Could be a Capricorn as well. But if you're looking for love for whatever reason, I feel this could be a person in love. I also feel that you're taking like a very neutral kind of like approach at this time. I think that being in the Justice energy is an amazing place to be as far as, just any like world changes. It's like, I just think that we're going through, again, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're going through a crazy time. There's going to be a lot of stuff that happens. And I think the people who are like, in justice, who are basically look at things from a neutral perspective are going to be the most successful. So that's what I would do here. There's also this purple. Back here, purple in the tarot kind of represents royalty. It is popping into my head. Some of you, I do feel like you could be attracting someone who is like royalty, and maybe not literally, obviously, right? But, it's almost like you're attracting someone who is like focused on leaving a legacy. Ten of Pentacles. Again, I always say that, if you're looking for love, with Uranus and Taurus, I think like, the people that we will probably be most attracted to are more like Ten of Pentacles people who see the big picture with the star, people people who have an idea of where they're going in life. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it's got to be something, right? Here, are you kidding? With the Justice card, you have the Judgment card. I said something about you passing judgment on something, and judgments in general, and I was like, even like, I'm surprised the Judgment card hasn't come up here. I was thinking that. So here you go, Judgment. Again, I think you just are. I'm not saying you're being judgmental. There's a big difference here. I just think that you could catch yourself in those moments where you're like, why do I spend time with these people? Or, these people from my family kind of give me the ick, or whatever the case may be. And, I think that we don't have to judge people. And I'm not saying it is you judging people. I'm just saying, I think you're kind of looking at this and like, why do I feel this way? And it's probably because you're just expanding, growing, whatever. With the Ten of Pentacles, yes, you have the King of Wands. If you're looking for love, definitely divine counterparts here. I would say it's probably a new person. There is something royal about this, king and queen. The purple really stood out to me on the Justice card as well. So, I don't know if I would call this a power couple, although it probably is. I would just say that it's like there's something about, royalty in the sense that you two could be, if you're attracting a person, you could be building a bloodline or something like that. And with the Seven of Swords, you have the King of Cups here. It could be a water sign that lied to you in the first place. So, you go up to Pisces, and of course, not all Pisces are liars, but what I would say is that, of all the signs, like Pisces is considered a liar, right? Or, can, present illusions, let's put it that way. And for all you Pisces cross watchers, chill out. I'm a Pisces, right? So I'm calling myself out here too, so chill out. But what I would say here is that, if that's what it was, it could be, the other thing that I would say to you here, Aries, is it could be someone who sold you a false bill of goods, and, with Neptune in Pisces, it might not have been a Pisces, but, I always say that my problem with Neptune and Pisces is that, is relationships not getting off the ground. With Neptune and Pisces, the fantasy is very attractive. So, we can get into situations where someone's like, oh, I'm going to marry you, and I'm going to, we're going to have a little farm with all these cows, and like, they sell you this whole painted picture, and you're like, oh my God. And then you just get like, hypnotized into something. It's not even that person's fault. It's Neptune and Pisces. I'm just going to blame Neptune and Pisces, right? Because again, that fantasy is just more amazing. And so some of you, you could have been sucked into a fantasy. Maybe the person's a liar. Maybe they're not really a liar. Again, maybe you see them as a liar. Maybe they did kind of tell some lies, but at the same time, maybe it's just more that maybe they really had good intentions. But regardless, I feel like you're moving past it anyway. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have the Queen of Cups here. I kind of feel that the Queen of Cups could be a person, but, the Queen of Cups is really your heart. She really values her emotions. She really values her feelings. And I feel what's kind of like unexpected is that you are being guided by your emotions at this time. I feel like your emotions could be kind of like leading you in new directions, and you're actually finding more success this week. This is one of those readings where I feel like you feel a difference this week. Very rarely do I think that we feel much of a difference, like week to week, right? It's like it's more gradual than that. But this week, there's something about, the work that you do and noticing a difference compared to like what you've been experiencing until this point. You have the Star card, the Three of Wands, and the Devil. I feel this sense of release going on here for whatever reason. It reminds me of like as a kid, I had Lyme disease, and my mom took me to this like body work thing. I don't remember what it was, but this lady, she was like digging in right here. If you've ever pushed right on your collarbone, it hurts like crazy, right? And so she was doing this body work stuff. It hurt like crazy, and then it popped, like not that literally popped, but like it released whatever she was doing, and it felt so good. And I kind of get that. That's what's popping into my head here for you, Aries, is that it's almost like there is some sort of release going on that feels really good. It could be you overcoming an obstacle or kind of reaching a milestone as well. It could be one of those things. It kind of reminds me of like this channel. I was stuck at like 40,000, like in between there for like 3 years or something like that, right? And everybody was outgrowing me. And then when I finally hit 100,000, when I finally had the breakthrough, it was like, oh my God, it felt so good, right? It was like one of my happiest achievements. So, I kind of feel that on the Star card. There could be, there's like some sort of release in the sense that you're having an achievement this week. I don't think it's totally unexpected because, again, obviously you're working towards it, but, there you go. You have the Three of Wands. I feel like you're waiting for something here. You're waiting, you see the potential of something. We go up to the High Priestess. High Priestess has no roof over her head, and, it kind of represents the fact that there's unlimited potential, or she has the potential to accomplish something, a great deal of things actually in life, but she just has to kind of like do it. and she also has to believe that she can accomplish more than she thought possible. I also think that getting rid of some like bad things might be a good idea for you. It's like, I think that getting rid of bad habits is always a good idea, especially you have Saturn in your 12th. When I had Saturn in my 12th, I quit drinking. Not that I was a big drinker anyway, but I definitely noticed a difference, quitting basically. I've gotten rid of a lot of other bad habits now that Saturn is in my first. Saturn will be in your first house in a few years here, but like I said, it might be a good time. Not telling you what to do. Someone is always like, "How dare you say I can't drink a gallon of rum a day?" I'm like, chill out. You can do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. Just giving you an idea, right, of some things that you could do here. So you can do whatever you want. And again, I'm not suggesting that you quit drinking, right? Trust me, I'm not as fun as I used to be. But what I would say is that I'm a lot more productive, right? Just this year, I've been super productive. Not only quitting that, but also changing other habits as well. So the devil could definitely represent Saturn, and it could definitely represent that energy, right? But let's see. Oh, I didn't want to do that. With the star card, you have the High Priestess. If this is like an Aquarius with Pisces, a Pisces with Aquarius, take it how it resonates. I always say that every single person I'm ever attracted to, Aries, I'm a Pisces, right? I don't know. I have known a million Pisces in my life because we all just glom together like that Pisces hive mind. Every single one I've ever known has been into Aries. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. Why? I have no freaking clue. But, I talk about this all the time because I think it's weird, right? And I'm a Pisces. So there you go. With the Three of Wands, you have the Death card and the Six of Pentacles. Definitely a transformation that you are going through. Something that's much more, I feel like you are saying like in the future, if I put myself in your shoes, like in June, July, just a couple months, right? It's like you're saying things are much more fair. This is good. I feel like this should motivate you. Maybe you've been like really putting the work in to whatever you're working on. And I feel like by the time we get to like June, July, you're like really noticing the progress. Remember what I just said about this is one of those few times where I actually feel like you are going to notice the difference this week. You're going to feel the difference as well. Even if you're watching this on the 5th, or what day is today? The 4th. Yeah. So if you're watching this on like the 5th or the 6th or whatever, before the week starts, I feel like you're going to enter into the week of the 8th and then you're going to notice a difference. So if you're watching it early, you're probably like, no, I'm not noticing the difference, but you will. With the Devil card, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, definitely a change in your fortunes. We have the Ten of Pentacles, the Star, and obviously the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is also about like taking much more control of your life and being able to control things. So that's what I'd say here is that I feel like you're like much more in control of your life. At the end here, you have this card that says Thread. This is from the Threads of Fate Empyrean Oracle. And full disclosure, I have a business relationship with Threads of Fate. But they're launching 3 new decks, and you can check those out down below. But they're all awesome, like this one right here. I feel like you're seeing like a connection that's going on in your life. I also feel like you're, for some of you, I have a weird message popping into my head as well, where like, let's say you have a job. Maybe there's another job that you're not exactly qualified for, but it's like you could get it because it's related. And I don't know, for somebody out there is going to get a job that is like, maybe you're not qualified for it, but it's related to what you do. And I feel like that the thread is saying like it's connected. That's why exactly that's going to work out for you. For others, I feel like you're taking your skills and you could be applying them to other things. It's like, let's say you have a YouTube channel. Maybe you're starting another YouTube channel. It's almost like I see you kind of like multiplying yourself with this reading as well. Definitely popping into my head. You have the High Priestess, the Three of Pentacles, and the Emperor. You have 2 cards with polka dots. You have the Seven of Swords. He has polka dots. You have the Three of Pentacles. She has polka dots. Again, polka dots in the tarot represent needing to have more fun. So anything you can do to enjoy yourself more, to celebrate, have fun would be a good idea. I also feel like some of you could be getting recognized for the work that you do. And again, I was talking about that pop feeling. It's like, some of you could finally be getting recognized for the work that you do in life or, whatever the case may be. So I kind of really like where this is going. If you're looking for love, by the way, Pisces, Aries right here. So they're the 2. I feel like you had a Pisces last week as well. So take it how it resonates. Again, Pisces spies on everyone. Pisces is all up in everyone's business. So, it could just be that. Take it how it resonates, like I said. But, this definitely could be a person. But I also feel if it could be any person. Three of Pentacles I love for love because it's like a person who wants to work together. You have the Emperor here. So you're showing up in a very strong position. And again, I feel like you need to take action on potential. The High Priestess, she just represents something that has potential to be successful. So again, the results are, a direct result of the amount of work that you put into something. So I feel like you could be working on like a new project, or you could even be, again, duplicating yourself. If you have a skill, you could be, duplicating your business in another area of life, or I don't know, it's getting something about that. With the High Priestess, you have the Eight of Pentacles, like really good work cards. Having these two here, Three of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles, I look at those two cards as very similar. They both kind of have that meaning of, mastering your craft and being very skilled or being very good at something you do. And they also are just very good for kind of displaying your skills. So, in work, in business, don't be afraid to, display your skills. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Three of Wands. Yeah, did you have the Three of Wands twice? Yes, right next to each other. Right here. It's like, what are you waiting for? I feel like a lot of you want to work on something new, and, it could be in any area of your life, love, business, or otherwise. And I feel like this is saying, get moving. With the Emperor, you have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands, like, work hard, play hard. I mean, sorry, it's not, but I do feel like you need to work hard, play hard, but I do feel like this is about boundaries that you could be putting up against a liar. And so some of you could be doing that. But he's, like, the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So for some of you, I feel like this is saying, like, don't give up after being wounded if someone, like, lied to you or did whatever they did here, right? So we're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this bridge card. It says successfully overcoming a problem. Multiple people have had this card this week, which is pretty interesting. So, normally there's a million cards in this deck. Normally I shuffle in between readings, but normally these cards do not repeat. So it's kind of weird to me when this happens. So it could be a good week for overcoming issues. You have this yoke card that says feeling tied down and frustrated. Speaking of Pisces, I feel like you and Pisces probably this week, the week of the 1st, right? I think if you're watching this early, I think the week of the 1st up into that eclipse, and then even a little bit after the eclipse, I feel like could be feeling frustrated, like you are in quicksand. And it's almost like, I think for you, you have that star card. It's like you can imagine if you were in a pit of quicksand and it's like you saw what you wanted, like right here. It's like you could almost reach out and grab something, like something that could be very successful. I feel like you feel that feeling of like being so close, but also not being able to run, not being able to get to what you want very quickly. There really is no good answer here. I think as we move through this week, things are just going to pick up. Things are going to progress. So you're going to get out of the quicksand. You have this lily card. It says spiritual love. Definitely, if you're attracting love, I'd say it's spiritual, regardless of what sign it is. You have 2 cards here. You have the wheel. It says indecisiveness, allowing your life to ramble aimlessly. You have this bag. It says something important, such as a new job or a raise. Yeah, I feel like some of you, it's like you've been going back and forth on what you should be doing. And I feel like, number one, for some of you, I feel like you have something that's working. And 6 of Pentacles is always my card of doubling down on the things that are working. Like if you have something that's working, double down on it, do more work on it. But if you don't, then I feel like you just need to pick something and make it happen. You have this stork card. It says news of a birth or a new business opportunity, either or. I feel like some of you, of course, could be giving birth is what I was looking for. But for others, I really feel this is more just starting, that new business or new career in your life. But this is a pretty interesting reading, I gotta say. I feel like you're trying to create your own Eden, with the Tree of Life, the 10 of Pentacles. Like you're trying to create a much more enjoyable life, and which is a great idea. I think everybody should do that right now. So, but you're like the only one that's actually doing it. So, there you go. But thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.